Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. This would be the third message about invisible things. I want to review with you the biggest invisible thing. That you're not here by accident and that God loves you. You can call God the creative source. You can call God Spirit if you don't like the word God. But there is a creator. Over 80% of the planet knows this, is part of organizations that claim this, that believe that there is life of some kind after death. It is an intuitive, monotheistic belief of the planet. That you were created. And as you sit in the chair, you have the choice to decide about that creator. Is it love? Is it accident? And what is the relationship? We're here to tell you, as we have every single time we channel, that the relationship is love. That you were born magnificent and it goes from there. Free choice, an invisible aspect, guides your life into that energy you wish. But standing next to you are all manner of invisible attributes that have their hands out. There are so many. One of the largest ones I have brought to you from the very beginning. You might say scientifically it's the core of epigenetics, and that is this, that the body is listening to what you are saying. And the body listens in two ways. The body is aware of your attitude and what you say from day to day. Believe it or not, that attitude emulates to the body who you think you are. And so if you carry an attitude that says you're nothing and never will be, the body cooperates. That is how powerful you are. But the other way that it listens is the way that we have taught you before, an invisible force, if you wish, force. Like every cell had an antenna listening to that force. And that was the consciousness of the human being, informing the body what it wants. We've even described it as consciousness homeopathy, where a little goes a long way and the cells listen to you. And we've told you that consciousness is energy. That has now been proven on your planet, and it has changed so many things, a lot of thinking. If consciousness is energy, then there may be rules of consciousness. And if there are energetic rules of consciousness, one of them might be that it is focusable. And that is in your body. Your body is listening. Every cell is aware. This is an invisibility, not taught necessarily in the places you'd expect it to be. But more and more are starting to realize that you can shape your own existence, that which is health for you. You can change the scheme, if you want to say that, of how fast and profoundly your body ages. If you do nothing, we have told you the body goes on automatic. Without direction, without focus, without intent. The body freewheels. It's out there. And it listens to all that is around it, that tells it how old it is and the drugs it should take and how long it'll last. That is Kryon from the beginning. But dear ones, in the last years, There has been another, invisibility. This one is difficult to teach. This one is beyond the scope mostly of logic. This is the one that is controversial. This is the one that might even be laughed at. And it deals with the field. The idea that consciousness and the energy of it is all around you from the potentials that is developed from it. I'm going to give you an example. A simple metaphor. There are many doors in your life as you walk around. One door has a person standing behind it who is angry, has his hand on the doorknob, it's about to open. There's another door. It's a woman holding food. She's been to the store. Her hand is on the knob. It's about to open. There's another door. That door has something that is actually happening at the moment. It's an accident happening at the moment. It's another door. It's the love of your life. He, she has the hand on the door. Question, are they real? In this metaphor, in this puzzle, they are. Picture it in real life. Is that an impossibility to have those things around you? And the answer is no, that is not an impossibility. In fact, it's very probable. Each one of those examples is a consciousness that has energy. We've told you this before, that when you go to a theater perhaps alone or with someone else, and you sit down next to an unknown person and you feel something that makes you want to move. That is a consciousness that literally is felt by you because it's energy. They're unbalanced or they're ill. And without knowing them or seeing them, you move. And that is you sensing something in the field. You're already experiencing these things, dear ones. This is an invisible, beautiful tool. Human beings can sense what's in the field. Some will call this intuition. It's part of it, but it's not all of it. Now, to add to this puzzle, dear ones, now you put the glue together. There's something called coherence. Coherence would be that which is a confluence of togetherness or a synchronization of consciousness of like kind. It's created perhaps when you get together in a group like this, when those would pray together or sing together, for music creates these kinds of things. Or perhaps even now, a channeling, where you realize that what you're hearing is dripping with the love and the purpose of God to you. We've told you before that when I gave you the information that you would get a new pope, and 13 months later you did, I've said to you, this was not prophecy. This was not fortune telling. I was giving you the potentials in the field. Because one of those doors behind one was an ill pope and another one about to take his place. Is that prophecy when I'm giving you what's in the field already? It's potentials. Now back to those doors. You're sitting there with a confluence of coherence, with things that suit you, things that are filled with purpose for you. And you are then able to sense the doors that are about to open. You're not going to go near the one with the angry person or the accident that is happening, and you'll be motivated perhaps to the love or the food or survival. But there won't be any question And if you could pick a road, perhaps, that led to the situation behind the door, you'd know. And it's not fortune telling, and it's not even being psychic. It's practical, because you are sensing what is, not the future, and making a decision about where you're going based upon what is happening. It's difficult to describe, because there would be those who say, well, it hasn't happened yet. That's telling the future. That's not correct. It has happened, in that those on the other side of the doors are a consciousness. And that consciousness, just like the one you sat next to in the theater, is that which you can pick up. That's invisible. That's you creating your reality. Beyond talking to yourselves, I just gave you the secret to creating a reality that is yours, meeting the right people, having airplanes that work or not, knowing things that perhaps others don't, because you can sense what's behind the consciousness of the potential. And then there is the question. Okay, you've got my interest, Kryon. I don't seem to have this. And that's where I'm going to tell you, you don't have it because you don't believe it. You don't have it because someone has either told you it doesn't exist or talked you out of it, or have told you that it belongs only to those who are strange or odd, it cannot exist. Did you know that biologists have already named it entrainment? Where biology seems to, for no reason at all, synchronize together with other individuals in a scenario that is unexplainable. It's already known. And this is the next step. What if there were an invisibility that lets you sense what to do next, that makes sense for you, to avoid the accident, to make sure you're at the right place at the right time, or to open the door and meet love? Dear ones, the Creator has given you this, and in this new energy, it's becoming sharpened. Last night, I sat before the sisters. It's beautiful to sit in front of the females who carry the energy of compassion and teaching and sacredness and shamanship. And in their akash, they're feeling it and they know it. It's beautiful to sit in front of humans who are the teachers of humans. And I told them that a flower is opening. It's a wonderful example, especially to the women. A flower is opening with the essence of reality that heretofore seemed to be that which was not real. The essence of the flower is the realization that perhaps some of these things are true, available, doable, and perhaps even something you could examine. This ability to rise from your chair and sense what is there is available to all humanity all the time. It's a sharpening of intuition. Some of you have to practice in order to understand what it feels like. But once you start, you realize it's there, it's real. There are so many, even in this room, who would listen and come, who have said, I can tell you the stories that Kryon is right, that I felt something that either brought me to the chair today or took me to a person where I had a healing, and it was beautiful. And you start to realize this is a life practice that will keep you in a beautiful place for a very long time. Control over the things that you thought were uncontrollable. It's invisible, it's the field, it's real, it's consciousness, it's energy. And it's here. Old soul, I've said it before, it's available to you first because you have the tools to use it. Your Akash rings with the wisdom of understanding these words. Your Akash rings with a maturity that says, Kryon's right. And you will then teach the others, the new ones, of the ability that has always been theirs. And there's more. Invisible things come with the love of God and purpose, and it's the reason why you're so magnificent. And now you're starting, perhaps, to understand why we say what we say about a better humanity that is coming. We leave it there. But there's more. There's always more. Go from this place changed. And so it is.